Hey everybody, this is Dax. Welcome back. Welcome to another episode of Finding Grace. This is episode 2. This one is going to be on Beautiful Thing, Grace's second performance at AGT. This was in August of 2016. I just actually did almost all of this and my computer crashed, wiping out the entire thing. So I'm going to do it again. Hopefully it will be just as fresh, just like Grace herself, fresh. So this song is even above I Don't Know My Name. It's a transition. One of the things this Finding Grace series is going to be about, it's going to be about the evolution of Grace. How is she changing? What extra things is she doing? What is she dropping off? All of that kind of stuff. One reason I started the Finding Grace series is because I just found myself listening to her more than even all of my favorite recording artists of all time. And I'm like, why is that happening? And so I started thinking about it, and I'm like, this is so complex. What she's doing is so complex that I've just gotta go in and figure out why. And we've seen tons of reactors and even musicologists talk about it and have reactions to Grace. And the words you keep hearing are amazing, oh my God, phenomenal, terrific. I mean, all those expressive exclamation adjectives, and and that's the way I was at first. It's just too awesome to put into words. So that's what I'm going to try to do with the Finding Grace series, is to put it into words. So I have actually decided, I've been thinking about her and her music for several weeks now, and I've decided that there are five mosts with Grace. The most. Grace is the most, the best, the optimum in five different categories. And, let me know what you think about this. I may revise it from time to time, but I'm trying to get down to the essentials of what makes Grace, in my perspective, the greatest musical artist of all time. Obviously, we only have recorded music going back about 120 years or so. So, all time meaning the last 120 years. Yeah, I'm saying it. That's what I just said. Here's the reasons why I think she's the most original, the greatest, the most original artist of all time. Five categories. So, number one, she's the most vulnerable in emotional expression. Well, look at that picture. I mean, nobody, no artist that I've ever seen or heard has that expression on their face. Complete. Yeah, part of that is nervousness, no doubt about it. But the way she expresses her vulnerability, sincerely expresses herself, she allows herself to be vulnerable on stage and in her music. And she is, in my perspective, the most vulnerable artist, musical artist of all time. Like Marilyn Monroe for the cinema, most vulnerable. Grace VanderWaal for music, the most vulnerable. So, and then she's the most ingenious lyrical expressionist, basically the best lyric writer. Yeah, even better than Chris Christopherson, Simon and Garfunkel, Carole King, Bob Dylan, better than all of them. She does twists and turns. She's funny. She gets deep. She gets lighthearted, all in the same song. Nobody does that. Yeah, this teenager, 12-year-old teenager, is the best, most original lyricist in music history already. So, number one, most vulnerable. Number two, most ingenious lyrics, best lyric writer, that is. And then number four is a bunch of adjectives about who she is. She's the most. She's the most benevolent, the nicest, most benign, nicest, even more so than Diana Ross, who was just a lovely soul. Grace is just nice. She doesn't have a bad bone in her body, I think. I mean, she's just so sweet. And I'll get to the counterposition of her personality here in a second. But that's a basic for her. Most benevolent, most benign, most introspectively logical. Most introspective and the most logical of writers that I've ever seen. And here's what I mean by that, and sort of abstract, almost like a professor, like a philosopher in a way. which is a great juxtaposition to her being so benevolent and benign. So in I Don't Know My Name, there's one of the great stanzas in that is her saying, I'm lost trying to get found. I'm lost trying to get found. Introspective. I mean, I don't know my name. Introspective. I mean, how many people put it that way? That's ingenious. Best lyricist of all time. She says, I'm lost trying to get found in an ocean of people. Terrific. One fish, ocean of people. I'm lost trying to get found. Please don't ask me any questions. So she goes from being introspective to looking out at the people looking at her. Please don't ask me any questions. And then here comes the logical aspect of grace. What does she say after please don't ask me any questions? She doesn't say, because I won't know what to say. I don't really have any answers. No, what she says is, there won't be a valid answer. There won't be a very generalized, logical, there won't be a valid answer, folks. There won't be a valid answer. That's the grace logic, raising it to another level and starting out so personal, so introspective, and then going up to a logical professor level of thinking on that. That's what she does. In just one stanza, she does that. So that's what I mean by introspective and logical. Introspectively logical is what I'm calling it. And then also the last adjective on the most is personal. She's the most personal artist I've ever come across. I mean, you've got a lot of artists who do get personal. They're expressing themselves, but Grace does it in such a personal way, like she's talking to you, and that it is so sincere. Like an example that came into my mind that's a juxtaposition to that is Carole King saying, what's that song by her? It's So Far Away, which I did a reaction on. You're so far away. Doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? So it's about her feelings on another person being far away. You're so far away. Even though she says you're so far away, she goes, doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? That's a nice mix that she does there. But Grace keeps it so personal on this song and on many songs. She's talking about another person. And by the way, I love the transition that Grace does. I don't know if she does this on purpose, probably not. But the first song, I Don't Know My Name, is about I. I don't know my name. It's an introspective song. I don't know my name. Now I know my name. This song is about we. It's about relationships. So she goes from I in the personal universe to the universe of people and talking. So again, she just has this way of making transitions that's so great. But anyway, so number 1, most vulnerable. Number 2, most ingenious lyrical writer. Number 3, the most benevolent, benign, introspectively logical, and personal musical artist of all time. And number 4 is she's the most nuanced in her vocals. Nobody does vocals like Grace. Nobody runs the gamut. She's got 2 or 3 dozen different sounds she makes with her voice. I mean, you got just like rasp, howl, throat, nasal, rough, lower, higher, dragging out, clipping off. She just has so many things that she does, and it's just, she does it back and forth so much that, I mean, your mind, your emotions are just in this gamut with her that she creates. And again, I don't know if she does this. I don't think she does it on purpose necessarily. I think it's just that number 1 that I was talking about, that vulnerability and expression comes out in all of these different ways. And if we think about it, like when we're talking with people, a lot of times that's what we are. We're up and down and everything. Grace is like that all the time in her music. And contrast that with, say, somebody like Billie Eilish or Angelina Jordan or one of those other artists who stay in like one place most of the time. You know, they stay in like one area, and there may be a little bit of nuance changes and stuff, but it's not this gamut of vocal changes that Grace does in one song, in every song that she does, every song that she does. There are a couple where she stays in one range, like it's not, it's, God, what is that one? I was going to say Riptide, but it's not Riptide. Okay, anyway, I think it is Rip. Anyway, so she rarely does that. Most of the time, it's this gamut of stuff that she does. So that's number 4. Number 4, most nuanced in lyric, in vocal range and expression. And number 5 is sort of summing all of these up. She has the most complex atmospheric soul, most complex atmosphere as an entertainer. And what I mean by that is all of those things that I just said, an amalgam of all those things put together into this extraordinarily complex vision and expression and emotions that she does. So you got all these things coming at you. And it's just, it's overwhelming in a great way. It makes these people go, amazing. I just don't know what else to say. That's just amazing. And so the 5 are most vulnerable in emotional expression, most ingenious in lyrics. So emotional expression, lyrics, expressing that expression, the lyrics, most benevolent, nice, benign, introspective, logical, and personal, number 3. Number 4, most nuanced in vocals. And number 5, all of the above, an atmosphere. That atmosphere, number 5, that she creates. So I'm trying to put my finger on it, and maybe I'll change that up a little bit or whatever. But I was trying to find, what is it about her that makes her so special, that makes her a genius prodigy. And yeah, that's what she is. Both of those. She's a genius and she's a prodigy. So what we're going to do with this song is, and I'm going to do this from now on, I'm going to play the song all the way through. And then, so we can all get the experience, because I'm going to be stopping it so much, folks. I'm going to stop it probably 30 times during the song, talk about her vocals, talk about the lyrics a little bit, talk about her performance, maybe even instrumentation. So, that will get tiresome if I do it without us. We're going to have to get our emotions out on this song. So I'm going to play the song, then I'm going to analyze it. Then I'm going to deep dive into her lyrics on this, because frankly, I think this is the greatest friendship song of all time. If you want to call it the greatest love song of all time, that's fine. What I find interesting about it, one of the things I find interesting is that she doesn't mention love or friendship. She doesn't say friend or love. She doesn't say sister. This is a universal song about that connection with another human being, that deep, avowed, almost religious connection with another human being. I mean religion in a soulful way. And I think it is the greatest of all time. And so I'll get into that in a little bit. So anyway, just to back up a little bit, right before we listen to the song, and it's 2 minutes, the performance on AGT is 2 minutes, almost exactly. I went through a bunch of other friendship songs by great people. And this is one reason why I call this the greatest one of all time. I mean, I listened to a bunch, folks, dozens. And so, just some of them I listened to. Let me just give you a short list of some I listened to. Bridge Over Troubled Waters, Simon and Garfunkel. That's What Friends Are For, Dionne Warwick. With a Little Help from My Friends, Beatles, You're My Best Friend, Queen, Friends Forever, Vitamin C, Friends in Low Places, Garth Brooks, Thank You for Being a Friend, Andrew Gold, Count on Me, Bruno Mars, nice song. On the Ride, Ally and AJ. I'm Only Me When I'm With You, Taylor Swift. You've Got a Friend in Me, Randy Newman from Toy Story, a cute friendship song. Lean on Me, Bill Withers, When You're Not Strong. You've Got a Friend, James Taylor. I'll Be There, the Jackson 5, Michael Jackson. Stand By Me, Ben E. King. Happy Together, The Turtles. Best Friend, Harry Nilsson. Friends, Beach Boys. I could go on and on. Go listen to any of those songs. They're great songs. All of them. Well, a couple of them are sort of, but they are really good songs. Some of them are cute, but you know what? None of them are really that personal. They're not personal songs. They're not deep diving songs into friendship where you just like go, whoa, man. And Grace does that. That's why this is the greatest friendship love song of all time. And the different ways she writes about it, and then expresses it. So, all of that said, let's jump in and listen to Grace do her 2 minutes. And let's just listen to it all the way through. Okay, here we go.
You think that you know my heart, and you probably do. So I'm always with you. I could stay with you for hours in an empty room, never get bored, never have nothing to do. You're my other half, you're what makes me, what makes me smile. When I fall down, can't get back up on my feet. You're a beautiful thing. We're a beautiful thing together, even when the weather is low. You're a beautiful thing. We're a beautiful thing together, even when the weather is low. We can find a rainbow up in the sky. You say, don't you cry, it's all gonna be alright. That's a beautiful thing. We make hours into seconds together, the way the world feel like a feather, 'cause we're holding it right in our heads. You're my other half, what makes me, what makes me smile. When I fall down, I need to get back up on my feet. You're a beautiful thing. We're a beautiful thing together, even when the weather is low. We can find the rainbow up in the sky. You say, don't you cry, it's all gonna be alright. Oh, no, it's all gonna be alright. That's a beautiful thing.
My gosh, folks. You're a beautiful thing, Grace VanderWaal. Man, it chokes me up every time at that end. Okay, so we got to enjoy that. So let's go back. Let's dive into this. I'm going to stop it a lot. So I'm going to talk about her voice, performance, everything. So take it back. All right. So here we go.
You think that you know my heart.
Okay, so love this. Quick hit on the ukulele, and then as soon as it gets to heart, boom! You think that you know my heart. And it's ominous. I mean, what an ominous way to start out. Beautiful thing. You think you know my heart.
And you probably do.
And then she whispers. You probably do. And she's laughing. And she's laughing for a reason. It's funny. She tricked us. What's that card game? That cup game? Where they trick you? I mean, she tricked us. You think you know my heart. And you think she's going to go, but you don't know my heart. Nobody knows my heart. Only I know my heart. No, she says, and you probably do. And that's such a friendship thing. Messing with somebody. You think you know my heart. Yeah, you probably do. I mean, it's just so funny. And this is another thing Grace VanderWaal does. I'll talk about that on the lyrics. But she does funny. And she's just, I don't know anybody else who does that. And just the little switch up she did on that.
So I'm always
Again, the way she does this, always with you. So I'm always with you. Or she's picking up on the ukulele, but always is always. It's forever. It's infinite. It's always. So what does she do with the word? I'm always with you. She's in the forever. She's giving a metaphor for that. Now I don't know if she meant to do that. I don't know if that's just something that it just comes to her. But that's a great way to express the metaphor. I'm always with you. Let's listen to that again. How she does that.
And you probably do. So I'm always with you. I could stay with you.
The way she says that. I could stay. You feel like that's her her real voice coming out. I could stay with you forever. It's so clear. Listen to that again.
With you. I could stay with you for hours in an empty room.
Empty room. She doesn't say room. She says room. This is this diphthong that she does. Grace does diphthongs all the time, turning one vowel into two or three, and even changing the actual sound of the vowel itself. She does this all the time. It's a natural thing. A lot of indie people do this. Indie singers do this. But it just doesn't, it sounds made up. It sounds contrived. It never does with Grace. It sounds perfect the way she does it. Let's back up and listen to the way she does that.
Hours in an empty room. Never get bored. Never have nothing to do.
She does this all the time too. She talks. Never get bored. Never have nothing to do. It's again personal. Grace is so personal, and it draws you in. It's just like you're almost like vicariously listening to her talk to somebody while she's doing this song, and her performance aspect of it is the same. You keep looking at her face and her expressions. It's like she is talking to somebody. Like the audience isn't really there.
You're my other half. You're what makes me what makes me smile. When I fall down, can't get back up on my feet.
On my feet. What she did to my? She didn't say on my feet. On my feet. On my feet. It's genius. And the pacing, the switch in pacing again that she does. Let's listen to how she switches up the pace on this.
Never have nothing to do. You're my other half. You're what makes me.
That sounds like a frolic. You know, that's what friends do. They frolic. You're my other half. You're what makes me me. It's so sweet. Because friendship is sweetness. Let's listen to that again.
You're my other half. You're what makes me what makes me smile. When I fall down, can't get back up on my feet.
When I fall down, can't get back up on my feet. It's just, who does that? It's extraordinary how effective that is, how emotionally effective that is.
You're a beautiful thing.
She waits 34 seconds to get into You're a Beautiful Thing, into her chorus. She breaks the rules. She does 3 stanzas before she gets to the chorus. That's amazing. I mean, not too many artists do that. That's her howl. That howl she's got. That's what I call it. It's almost like a trumpet howl. Beautiful that she does. I love that part of her voice. Again. Beautiful thing. The way she bellows it out. Bellowing may be better.
We're beautiful thing together, even when the weather is low.
She's changed the pace again. Beautiful thing together, even when... Bringing it back down. Even when the weather is low. The weather's low. Her voice is low. The weather's low. I'll talk about it in a little bit, how genius that is. And again, she's almost like talking.
You're a beautiful thing. We're a beautiful thing together.
Bellow.
Even when the weather is low.
All right, that sweetness, the way she says low. Even when the weather... This time she says it in a very sweet kind of way. Weather is low. It's so innocent. No other singer has that kind of innocence in their singing. And it just comes out of her naturally. Listen to how she says low.
Even when the weather is low.
So sweet.
We can find it
Okay, the way she does this, it's almost like you are like, look, your eyes are going up towards the rainbow. Rainbow. It's just like, there it is. And she pulls you up into it. And the way her voice does that, like that raspy nasal that she does, again, another aspect of her voice. Let's listen to that again. And that squeal at the end.
Even when the weather is low, we can find a rainbow
Oh!
up in the sky.
The way she says up. She does a diphthong on it. Up in the sky. Listen to that. I mean, I know I'm the reason I'm going into this so much is what she does with words, what she does with her voice on words, over and over, 2 or 3 dozen times just on this song, taking you this way and that way and back. I mean, it's just like amazing what she does, what she does.
Up in the sky, you say, don't you cry, it's all gonna be alright.
How would you like for somebody to tell you the way she just sang that, it's all going to be all right? It's all going to be all right. And the sincerity that she has in her voice when she sings that. Again, I just don't know other singers who are that sincere. Listen to that. Listen to how I would want somebody to say it to me this way.
Hey, don't you cry, it's all gonna be alright.
And the way her voice leveled out into a nice sort of petting somebody, it's all going to be all right. It's genius.
That's a beautiful thing.
And that's a beautiful thing. It's like a throw-off line now. And that's a beautiful thing.
We make hours into seconds together, the way the world.
The way she says that together, that almost sort of raspy squeal that she's got. Listen to that. Again, her vocals, the nuances in her vocals.
We make hours into seconds together, the way the world. Feel like a feather.
What is that? Feather. What? How does she do that? I don't even know how to describe that yet. It's almost like a duck call. It's like this gorgeous duck call. Go together. Or some ship call or something. And what is it? This is like the 15th different sound that she's made? Let's listen to that again.
We make hours into seconds together, the way the world. Feel like a feather, 'cause we're holding it right in our head.
Okay, so now I want to talk just a little bit about her performance. She's so, well, you're looking at it right there. So vulnerable, so sincere. And she looks like she's a little bit nervous, but she's always vulnerable and sincere. So who knows? But the way she delivers is so elegant, so like statuesque. She's at this age, 12 and a half years old. She has this presence about her, confidence, even though she's tiny bit nervous. There's this confidence about her and vulnerability that the audience is obviously tapping into and that we're tapping into.
Yes, you're my other half, what makes me me, what makes.
The way Grace doesn't do just one bridge a lot of times. She's got bridges. I mean, she changes pace and vocal levels so often. It's like her entire song is just going from bridge to bridge, you know? It's just like she's got so many timbers. Let's listen to the way she does that again. I mean, here you go. You're going along, and then it's like, oh, this is just a gorgeous song with Make.
Yes, you're my other half, what makes me me, what makes me smile.
And I love the emotional expression on that. You're my other half. You're my other half. And now she's getting in to, in this case, her sister, making her feel good. And so how does Grace express that? She doesn't do the normal singers. You're my other half. You're what makes me smile. Or what makes me me. You're my other half. What makes me me. You know, she doesn't do it like that. The full impact of the relationship comes out when she says makes. When she bellows out makes. Let's listen to that.
what makes me smile. When I fall down, I need to get back up on my feet.
Did I miss
You're
it?
beautiful.
Yeah, I missed it. Let's go back.
We make hours into seconds together, the way the world feel like a feather, 'cause we're holding it right in our heads. You're my other half, what makes me, what makes me smile. When I fall down.
You see how sweet she was after that? What makes me? And then she comes all the way back down. What makes me smile? Very sweetly. Listen to how she does that. Taking us on that roller coaster of her emotions all the time.
Half what makes me, what makes me smile. When I fall down.
When I fall down. So it's not just when I fall down, it's when I fall down. Listen to that.
Other half, what makes me, what makes me smile. When I fall down, I need to get back up on my.
And down, the way she drags down out. Down. That's where she went. Down. Does she do this on purpose? I mean, how great is this? Her voice matches the content of the words so often. And I think part of it is because she's living the word when she's singing it. It's phenomenal. This is not all that again.
What makes me smile. When I fall down, I need to get back up on my feet. You're beautiful.
I love that pause she does. I need to get back up on my, and you're waiting. And it takes a while, if you're down, to get back up on your feet, doesn't it? It takes a second. So that's what she does. She pauses to get back up on my, okay, I'm up now, feet. Listen to that. Again, matching the content of the words.
Feet. You're beautiful. Down, I need to get back up on my feet. You're a beautiful thing. Beautiful.
This is the thing that I've talked about, a lot of y'all talked about, many people have talked about, the way she says beautiful, 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 like there's a W after the F, beautiful thing. I love how she does that.
Feet. You're a beautiful thing. We're a beautiful thing together.
The performance. I know she probably wasn't conscious of doing it, but her leg coming up there, I just love that aspect of her. It shows how completely unself-conscious she is. To her body movements, to her facial expressions, to her foot coming up off the ground. Have you ever seen that in a performance before? I haven't. I've never seen a performer do that. Let's watch that.
Thing. We're a beautiful thing together. Even when.
That together that she does, that sort of duck call that she does. Listen to that again.
Thing. We're a beautiful thing together. Even when the weather is low, we can find the rainbow up in the sky.
I mean, I don't even know what to say about that entire sequence. I mean, the way she sets it up with oh, whoa, whoa, rainbow, whoa, whoa. And the whole thing it's just this ascending gorgeousness into lovely friendship and the rainbow in the sky that's a metaphor for the friendship. I mean, it's just listen to it again. And the way her voice handles it all with that slight rasp.
Even when the weather is low, we can find the
One more level.
rainbow up in the sky. Who'd say, don't you cry, it's all gonna be.
Okay, she's going to take us back down. So that rainbow up in the sky, and now it's all going to be all right. And she's going to take us back down into the seriousness that is a part of Grace's personality. I just love this.
Hey, don't you cry, it's all gonna be right.
The vibrato, yet another aspect of Grace's personality, the sensitive vibrato. All right. Listen to that. Just love it.
Right.
Wow. It's emotional. God, it's so emotional.
Oh, oh,
I love it when great artists do that and they just let their emotions come out with a like a little doo-wop thing or whatever it is. Just a here, let's listen to it again. The clarity in her voice. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I mean, the really great artists, you feel like you're getting their real voice when they're singing, you know? And I just love how it comes out of Grace right there.
No, it's all gonna be alright. That's beautiful.
Okay. All right. I know I stopped it a whole lot. I mean, I'm going to do that a lot, I think, until I can get her voice down. Heck, I may do it every time. I mean, you know, how many times I did stop it and just talk about the different aspects of her voice and how she changes pace and how she elongates words, how she talks, how she whispers, how she's serious, how she's fun. All of this in one song about friendship. You're a beautiful thing. It almost surpasses like friendship. You know, you're beautiful. You are a beautiful thing, and it comes across in this song. I think it's the greatest, as I said a while ago. I think it's the greatest friendship love song of all time, and I'm going to get into that now. Oh, let me talk a little bit about her playing with the ukulele. Has gotten so much better on this. I mean, she's going up and down, handling the chords really well. I like the fact that she kept the pace on the ukulele while changing the pace on the song itself, or having a different pace with her actual vocal expression, her actual singing on the song. Several times she'd slow it down. The ukulele would keep going, but she would slow it down with her voice, and I think that's really interesting as well. So this performance, I think, was better even than I Don't Know My Name. I Don't Know My Name. She made a couple of mistakes in that. Obviously, it's still just a phenomenal song. So whenever I say that, it's just within the context of it. But anyway, so this song shows, I Don't Know My Name told me this could potentially be a phenomenal artist. I mean, obviously Simon felt the same way, but everybody felt the same way who was sitting there and in the audience. This song proved to me that Grace VanderWaal is a writer and an emotional expressionist, and had nuance, had gravity, had a gorgeous soul. This song broadened my whole perspective on Grace. And I'll talk obviously about Light the Sky and Clay, how my perspective landscape on Grace broadened even further with those. But I want to stick to this one right now and just talk about these ingenious lyrics. So I've got a whole bunch of cat scratching notes on here. Yeah, I spent quite a bit of time going over this because it is phenomenal. I'm going to put on my spectacles for this because that's the only way for me to see my cat scratching appropriately. Okay, so one reason I'm focusing on this is because Grace VanderWaal is a genius writer. She is, whether she knows it or not, she is a genius lyricist. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that right now. So I'm going to go through almost every part of this song. So I already talked about the beginning, but I'm going to talk about it briefly again. You think that you know my heart, and we're all expecting her to say, but you don't. And she comes back with, and you probably do. What a wonderful thing. I mean, I can just imagine when she's writing this. She's thinking about her sister, and oh, you think you know my heart, and then Grace has that introspective moment, and she's like, and you probably do. And that, of course, is what friends do. But that's funny. And, I said there are two funny aspects of this song. So I'm going to jump down to the other funny one real quick before I go back up. And the other funny one is, so when she almost has what you might call a threat in here, like that one, that's almost like a threat. And so she says, if we got into a fight or war, that would be bad. I like how frank that is. That would be bad. Because you know all of my secrets. And then she comes back with, but I know all of yours. That's funny. That is just funny. That's like, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Spread the secrets. And I got all your secrets. But that's what friends do. Friends jab each other, jibe with each other. And I think it's incredible that she knows how to put that into a song, that she does put it into, that she puts those specific nuanced aspects of friendship into a song. It's ingenious, folks. Songwriting is any kind of writing is difficult to do, and she does it with almost perfection. So after she says in the beginning, and you probably do know my heart, that's why I'm always with you. But as she sings it, I'm always with you. So she comes back and says a lovely thing to her friend. But you know my heart. That's why I'm always with you. What a gorgeous way to say that. I could stay with you for hours in an empty room. In an empty room, there's only you and me. What a gorgeous image. And Grace is all about imagery. In an empty room. I could stay with you for hours in your room or my room or in a room. But Grace adds the word empty, giving it a landscape of just two friends in love with each other, in love with each other's soul. She puts the empty in there. That's good. That's great writing, folks. And never get bored and never have nothing to do. Again, Grace using this double negative is, it's Shakespearean in a way. He did this all the time. But she doesn't say, and never get bored, and always have something to do. That's the way most writers would write that. But Grace puts the aspect on the fact that there is no nothing with friends. She says, never have nothing to do. Never have nothing to do, because we always have something to do. By using the double negative, she puts the emphasis on the fact that there is no nothing with us. There's everything with us. That's great writing again. Great writing. You're my other half. What makes me me. What makes me me. Love the way she says that. What makes me me. What makes me smile when I fall down and can't get back up on my feet. I love the visual repetition of this. Again, most writers would not know to do that. To get back. I got this image of one of those old movies that like the Marx Brothers, and they do the clip several times, and the Marx Brother goes, or it's a common thing on Facebook now. A bunch of people go, well, that's Grace. I can't get back. I can get back on my feet. So I love the staccato aspect of that. Again, Grace changing pace. Grace never lets us get bored. So many songs, even songs that I really like, I get a little bit bored with. I get a little bit bored with Bridge Over Troubled Waters, frankly. Here's the first stanza on When You're Weary, Feeling Small. This is Bridge Over Troubled Waters by Simon Garfunkel. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. That's lovely. I'm on your side. That's lovely. And when times get rough and friends just can't be found. Of course, it goes on. That's really great writing. I was going to say about how I get a little bit either annoyed or a little bit bored with most great songs. And that even goes for Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, which is about a friend. I get a little bit bored with the song. It stays pretty much, the tempo of it stays pretty much the same. Same thing with Bridge Over Troubled. I mean, there is the soaring bridge on it and everything else. So that's good. But it's a standard formula. It's a standard formula. Grace does not do standard formulas. You just never can get, I mean, really, I don't think you can get bored with a Grace song. She doesn't get bored with it. She doesn't get bored with her expression. I think it's one reason why she said she threw away, 12 or 15 or a bunch of songs during that whole Stray era, because she was bored. She was bored by them. And now she says she's bored by her previous music. But the great thing about Grace is she doesn't allow boredom into her soul, into her life. And it comes out in her music. So another interesting thing about this song is the rhyme. Grace does two things in this song. She does blank verse, no rhymes, and she does verse, poetic verse, rhymes. The times when she rhymes are actually when she's making a fairly serious point. Without you here, I am boring. Something inside you is triggering. Nice rhyme. And now let's just look at that. Let's just look at that real quick. Without you here, I am boring. I'm not bored. She doesn't say, without you here, I'm bored. Without you here, I'm boring. She's boring herself. I'm boring. I don't think another writer would think to put it that way. Without you here, I am boring. I'm boring to the universe. I'm boring to me. Who does that? And then her analytical grace that I was talking about a while ago, that logical grace comes back in. Something inside you is triggering. I don't think I've ever heard that word actually used in music before. I think that's the first time I've ever heard it used in music before. Maybe. Who knows? So the rhyme there. Then the rhyme that she does a little bit later. Up in the sky, you'd say, don't you cry. It's all going to be all right. And then we make hours turn into seconds together. The weight of the world feel like a feather. So you and me together, we'll forget about what we've been told. We'll live in our own dream world. So again, Grace changing, she doesn't just change pace. She doesn't just change her vocal sounds. She changes rhyme and blank verse within a song. She changes the normal musical structure of a song, all in one song. And she does this a lot. And then when talk about logical structures of songs, she waits 3 stanzas. She's in the 4th stanza before she brings in the chorus on this. You're a beautiful thing. And then she says, she doesn't stop with just you're a beautiful thing. We're a beautiful thing together, because this is about friendship. So she goes from you to we. Just love how she does that. We're a beautiful thing together. Even when the weather is low. I talked about this in my original reaction on Beautiful Thing. Never been said before, as far as I know. When the weather is low. And of course, it's a great metaphor for the relationship itself, the friendship or life being low. So it's fantastic on that as well. And I love the switch on images she does. We can find the rainbow up in the sky. So it's bright. We can find the rainbow up in the sky. You'd say, don't you cry. It's all going to be all right. So we don't know, but when they're looking at the rainbow, that something is wrong in that particular moment. And then she brings us back down from the rainbow. That juxtaposition is startling. It's stunning to me, the way she does that. So you put all of this together already halfway through the song, and you've got just an extraordinarily expressive roller coaster of a song with ingenious writing. So I already talked about if we get into a fight and the war. So I think I've talked about most of what I wanted to talk about on the lyrics. You and me together, we'll forget what we have been told. We'll live in our own dream world. I love how she says, we'll forget what we have been told. She doesn't say we won't listen to we're going to reject what other people say. We're not going to listen to what others say or forget about what everybody else says. She says, we'll forget what we have been told. And I like the lack of defiance in that. We're just going to simply forget. We'll forget what we have been told. You know why we're going to forget? Because we're having such a good time. We love each other so much. Let's just forget about all that. We'll forget what we've been told. We'll live in our own dream world with the rainbow up in the sky. So, I already said that I think it's the greatest friendship song of all time. I like how something Grace does that a lot of songwriters don't do, is she gives us so many different scenarios in this song. Talking about the empty room, rainbow, weather is low, weight of the world, something inside you is triggering. The hours turn to seconds. Oh, I was going to talk about that for a second. We make hours turn into seconds together. I've never heard anybody quite put it that way before. In fact, I even did a Google search for it and couldn't find it being used by anybody. We'll make hours turn into seconds together. I mean, a lot of people have said, that minute felt like it was an hour. So yeah, it's a switch. It's a change up on that. And, time flies. But Grace doesn't say time flies. The hours turn into seconds. And she doesn't just say it, stop it right there. Hours turn into seconds together. Everything in this song is about you and me together. So, and I just love how she says, you're my other half, what makes me me. This whole song is, I wrote down, it's evocative and probing. It is. It's evocative and it's probing into what is this we've got? What is this friendship? So this song, the writing on this song, the emotional expression on this song, the vocal switch ups on this song, everything on this song is more complex and evocative and even more probing than I Don't Know My Name. It is the second song that the world found out about on Grace VanderWaal, and it's a masterpiece. This song is a masterpiece in all those areas, those 5 areas I talked about at the beginning. It's a masterpiece in all of those areas. Hard to believe a 12-and-a-half-year-old could deliver this, folks. Yeah. All right. So I may have had other things to say, but this is getting long. I'm really looking forward to y'all's comments. I'm going to dig into Light the Sky next. This was Beautiful Thing. This is Finding Grace, Beautiful Thing, episode 2. And I really look forward to hearing what y'all are going to have to say about this. And please just add more depth to what I've talked about. Let me know if you disagree with me. Let me know if I missed a couple of points. If there's something else that Grace is a most of, other than those 5 things that I mentioned. So in the meantime, I do look forward very much to all of y'all's comments, and I'll catch you on the backside. Take care of yourselves. Bye now.